So by the end of this video, you're going to have a clear idea of how you can warm up before you play. The first thing we start by doing is just some basic stretches with our hands and fingers. Nothing too intense. The idea here is just to get the blood flowing a little bit. So I first start by rotating the hands gently up and down like this. Gently up and down in front of me. That's the first thing I do. Gently up and down. Like this. Once I've done this a few times and I feel the wrists are beginning to loosen, I then extend the fingertips a little bit. The fingers, sorry. Extend them and bring them back like this. After doing that for a few times, I maybe wiggle them a little bit, shake my hands off, and I feel like the wrists have moved a little bit and they're ready to play. So now we're going to take a look at an exercise that will help you develop or help you warm up the fingers on the left hand and warm up your wrist a little. The idea behind this is that each finger is going to sit on a fret, like that, which is generally a good way to have a good technique to have anyway in guitar. It's best for each finger to occupy a fret when we're playing in a line. So we're going to start with two fingers first of all. We're going to play fret 1 and then fret 2. But as you play fret 2, it's important for you to ensure that your first finger does not come off. Your first finger stays down. Then you're going to play frets 1 and 2 for every string. E, A, D, G, B. You're going to do it slowly. The idea is to make sure your fingers stay down and are not flying off the fretboard. Keep your fingers down and make sure they don't fly off the fretboard. Now we're going to use three fingers, fingers 1, 2 and 3. Again, when your third finger and second finger come down, make sure the fingers before them are still on the fretboard. Like so. Now go slowly and really make sure that you're developing the strength in each finger. Like this. By holding it down. We're going to do this for every string, frets 1, 2 and 3. It's important to note that my thumb's at the back here in the center and is providing support for my fingers. As I go lower down, my thumb follows and goes like this really at the back, like this. In the middle to the bottom. We're going to do this now with 4 fingers, and this is the hardest. With 3 fingers and 4 fingers, it's really important to ensure that your fingers are not flying away from the guitar. Because you will most likely find that you're playing now and your fingers are flying around unwanted on the guitar like this, away from it. So this exercise is to help you develop the ability to keep them on the fretboard. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 on every string, very slowly. And keep all the fingers on the fretboard. Excellent. Now, once you've done that, we're going to go back down with all of them. So back down with 2 fingers. So 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Then 3, 2, 1. It's important to make sure we can go the other direction. We can go backwards, not only up. Now with 4 fingers. This will be the hardest one. You'll have to really do this slowly and make sure each finger is ready to come off one at a time. Great. So I recommend taking one of those at a time. Just start with 2 fingers first, then with 3 fingers, and then 4 fingers. Eventually you'll be able to go through the exercise completely, and I'll show you. I'll go up and then down on each set of fingers. 2 fingers, up, down. 3 fingers. Down. 4. Up. Down. Excellent. You do it much slower than that. I just want to demonstrate that you can get to a point where you can do it much better. Now, once you develop alternate picking, much later on, you can alternate pick everything. And that means you're developing your alternate picking, like this. Like so. Great. I hope that gives you an insight into how you can warm your fingers up. This is called a chromatic exercise. And you can move it around the fretboard. And over time, you'll develop the ability to keep your fingers on the fretboard so they're not flying around everywhere. Because the further away from the fretboard they move, the further they've got to go back, and that makes it harder to play certain things. I hope that was useful. Until next time, keep practicing.